The current educational system the world is using is beyond outdated. Created in a time when all we needed was training to work in the same industry for 35 years before retiring, the way school was designed just doesn't account for the many different creative pursuits that currently exist today. In a world where you need to constantly learn and evolve, and where the average job tenure is less than 5 years, going to a university just doesn't make sense for everyone. However, while the education we get from school isn't as important anymore, there are certain things that the school environment provides that you will need to recreate outside of school if you want to be successful and make tons of money. And so, in today's video, we'll be going over 3 things that you need to have outside of school if you want to succeed. After leaving secondary school, I went to NIT, a school for computer-related studies. So we had developers, designers, networking experts, all within the 4 walls of this tiny one-floored school. And although I still haven't used the lessons I was taught in that school in my career, I still would have paid the same amount, and it was pretty expensive to just go to that school again, just to be surrounded by those guys. After classes every day, I would walk into this room to see guys my age doing all sorts of creative work, building websites, making mad flyers and posters, some even DJing. And I remember distinctly that I was challenged by these guys. I too wanted to do something after class. And so one day I went home and I told my sister that I wanted to write online because at the time that's what she was doing. And the rest, they say, is history. One of the most important things that school provides is a continuous learning environment. In school, you are constantly fed new information and surrounded by people who are smarter than you and are doing more interesting things than you. And as a result, you are pushed to constantly evolve, to learn new things and to challenge yourself. This type of environment is essential for your personal growth and is something that you need to recreate outside of school if you want to be successful. To do this outside of school, you need to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you or at least as curious about the world as you. These people will help you fuel your own curiosity, which will lead you to seek out information and ultimately learn new things. And here's another tip: read tons of books, fiction, non-fiction, autobiographies. Read books on a wide range of different topics. The wisdom found in pages can never be overestimated. There's a reason many of the world's CEOs are avid readers. If you don't like to read, you can try audiobooks or listen to podcasts about similar topics. Go to seminars, attend workshops, and get your hands dirty. Take every opportunity you can to learn something new. The world is constantly changing, and if you want to keep up with the times, you need to continuously learn new things. School provides you with the perfect environment to do this, but if you're not in school, you need to create this environment for yourself. The one thing I've battled with the most since leaving secondary school is creating a structure for how I spend my time and sticking to it. Whether I'm spending too much time or too little time working, it's hard to find the right balance when you're not answerable to anyone. So add insult to injury, I currently work as a freelancer, so for the most part I have the autonomy over my time. Yes, there are deadlines, but I set those deadlines. They aren't imposed on me. And as a result, it's easy to slack and become lazy about achieving your goals when there's no one there hounding you to do them. Think about things like making these YouTube videos. No one is going to film me if I don't stick to a regular upload schedule or try my best to work on my videos as often as I can. However, the consequences in the real world are far greater and more sinister. Instead of just marks and a CGPA, you're battling against failure, lost dreams, and poverty. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of arms to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. In a world where there is intense competition for the very few jobs that are available, you need discipline to consistently work on your craft, get better, unless you're going to be left behind by the pack. To create that structure for yourself, I suggest coming up with a daily routine that works for you. You don't have to stick to it every single day like some robot. However, having a basic structure on what to do at what time will help guide and ensure that you get good work done. Most of the time when we procrastinate is because we don't actually know what exactly we ought to be doing at that time. So by creating a daily routine, you help mitigate this and ensure that all your time is very well accounted for. If you guys would like to see a video where I go over my daily routine, do let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to make a video about that. After working with my sister for a while, I moved up the ladder and started working directly with her boss, who then became my boss. Just like me, this man had also chosen not to go to university. He was a lot farther ahead in his career, obviously. He's wealthy, has a family, and at the time he was running a company with over 20 employees. So by all measures, he was successful. When I started working with him, I told him that I also didn't want to go to school, and he was impressed. So he took me under his wings and gave me the opportunity to learn firsthand all the intricacies of writing for the internet. From creating shorter sentences to learning how to use the comma properly, I learned a whole lot while writing for this man. A couple of years went by and I decided that it was time for me to go solo. But what did I do? I went back to him for advice on how exactly to go about it. I would also call him time and again whenever I faced a challenge that I just wasn't prepared for. That is mentorship, and it is one of the best things about the school environment. School provides you with the opportunity to be mentored by experienced professionals. You have the chance to learn firsthand from people who have been in the industry for many years, heck, even people who are simply older than you and have more experience about this thing called life. While you don't need a formal education to be successful, it's important to have a mentor or mentors who can help guide you in the right direction. And the truth is, a mentor does not have to be someone who tells you every single thing to do and you cannot oppose. For a long time, I didn't like the word mentor because that's what I thought it was, or that was what I was taught to think that it was. But after a while, I realized that I didn't have to be tied to other people's definition of the concept of mentorship. So I instead told myself that a mentor would simply be someone whose suggestions I would give critical thought to before making my own decision. Because at the end of the day, no two lives are exact, no two paths are the same. And so what works for another person may not necessarily work for you. Which is why I always encourage people not to ask what other people did, but to ask why they did what they did. This will give you an insight into their decision-making process and in turn help you make better decisions of your own depending on your situation. Late last year, I got a new mentor. I remember walking into his house and seeing his iPhone 12 mini, his black shorts and t-shirts, his modern apartment. The way he lived his life was exactly the way I wanted to live mine. I instantly felt like I was looking at a picture of what my future could be. And it just made me realize that while it's true that we sadly can't see the future, if you find the right mentor, you'll be able to get a glimpse of what you could become. Thankfully, there are a lot of ways to make money without a traditional education. You can start your own business, freelance work, or find various opportunities online. The key here is to be creative and resourceful and to never give up on your dreams. And with a little bit of hard work and determination, you sure can make money doing what you love without spending thousands of dollars, or in Nigeria's case, sacrificing your mental health just to go to school. Deciding that you don't want to go to school is great, but it's only the first step in becoming a successful individual. The next step is all about figuring out what you want to do with your life, which is why you absolutely need to watch this video next, where I talk about how exactly you can figure out your life and what to do right now. So just click on this video and I'll see you guys there.